All right, the board is here. I'm back in my classroom. And speaking of classrooms, Rice was just ranked number 9. So Bailey the golf girl, congratulations. You're going to the number 9 ranked school in the United States. And now for the rest of you that want to step into the classroom, here's what we have this week. I usually do case studies on companies. This week, I had a lot of kind of leftover comments and people that have been reaching in, not leftover, but kind of a parking lot of comments where people were asking about DEI. So they said, let's talk about DEI and what's happening to it. Why are companies and universities canceling DEI? And I use the word cancel there because it used to go the other way, that a company would get canceled and people said, oh, the woke mob is canceling it. Well, hang on, let's look into this and let's see if what we think or what I think, and I'm going to roll it out to you. So DEI, what happened? So let's start with DEI. What happened? Well, how it started, how it's going, let's take a look. First of all, it was partly good intentioned. We have equal opportunity employment, which I'm going to talk a little bit about, but some people thought that maybe things weren't perfect and some more needed to be done. Other people was not good intentions. They wanted to use it as an opportunity to force companies to do what they wanted the way they wanted. So hang on a second, that wasn't so good. So it was reactive to social events and people trying to seize power and opportunity from social events to force companies and to cancel and to discriminate and do a lot of things. There was a lot of revenge and there was a lot of let's get even in the reaction to social events. Therefore, when you go reaction, get even, my side, not your side, that's called a political struggle. Class by class, side by side, however you look at it, however you describe it, it's a political struggle. Us versus them is inherently political. That's how it started. A little good intentions, but a lot of blowback and people that were very upset that said, you're being reactive, you're being opportunist, you're trying to force me. And by the way, those people were correct. And there's a small minority that just said, shouldn't we be taking a closer look? Okay, well, let's go take a look. How's it going? There's some positive outcome from the let's revisit to ensure everything is going fair and well. That's not a bad thing to stop. It's like, let's have instant replay in a football game and see, was he inbounds, was he out of bounds? So it's never a bad idea to go back and say, hey, let's do it. But it wasn't happening very calm. It was being jammed down company and people's throats, even if there was a small handful of good intentioned people in there. So there was a small handful of positive outcome. Then there was deprioritizing merit-based hiring, meaning you're just trying to find good people, and that ran counter to ensuring quality of employees in critical roles, such as pilots, doctors. You say, we need 10 pilots at our airline. We want the 10 best pilots we can find. And if your hair is blue and you're from a certain lifestyle community, I don't care. If you've got 5,000 hours of flying, you're known as the safest pilot at your previous company, and you're fabulously skilled and you pass these tests with flying colors, then guess what? I don't care that you're blue hair and multi-piercings and come from some lifestyle community. I don't care. I only care that you're the best pilot to hire to ensure the safety and security of the passengers on the plane. Likewise for doctors. That wasn't what was happening. People were being told, nope, you're 5 women short, you're 4 Hispanics short, you're 3 African Americans short. You got to keep doing this. And quotas were put in artificially that created a declination in the amount of emphasis that was put on merit. And merit means, can you do it? Are you skilled? That may not matter if you're hiring a manager for the corner Starbucks. It matters very much if you're hiring a pilot or a doctor and the best, most qualified people are not there ensuring the best care and safety for people. Then there was a rise of reverse discrimination cases. There was a group of mostly Asian parents and families that sued Yale because they said, hey, you're moving the line here and you're actually discriminating against us. And guess what? That suit was later dropped and some resolution came, but between the lines of what was essentially a settlement, people saw, you know what? Yale wasn't doing the right thing. there may have been a good intention, but the outcome was hurting these people while you're claiming to help these people. Whoa, wait a minute, that's not the way it's supposed to work. Then HR executives said, we feel like we're being led by political compliance, not quality of the people for our company. Quality salespeople, so we hit our revenue targets. Quality customer care people, so that they can take care of it. Or you're the HR person at United Airlines, and you're supposed to get quality pilots so that everybody flying the plane on a sunny day, maybe it doesn't matter. But what about when the plane has a malfunction? What about when the plane is flying through heavy weather? You know who I want up front? The most experienced people who are calm under pressure and qualified for that. That's what HR wants to hire. So you can see how's it started, how's it going. Now, what you asked me was about what was going with the cancellations of DEI. Let's go take a look, because the companies that have backed off have said very clear things about equal opportunity and a need to ensure a level playing field for all. So also, oh, by the way, I missed one down here. The extra expense of a new department and executives. Yeah, because you didn't just have HR, now you had the diversity department. Wait, HR is supposed to have equal opportunity. For regardless of your lifestyle, your religion, where you came from, everybody will be considered, and the door's wide open and an even level playing field, and then qualify on your merits for the job. That's how it's there. So I can't believe I missed that one. Well, guess what? A lot of companies are not going to miss it because they're closing it. Let's see. Harley Davidson, headline. Harley Davidson drops diversity efforts after online pressure. Now, what they're talking about is diversity efforts. Harley Davidson was an equal opportunity employer. Harley Davidson used to license this logo to people that made all kinds of clothing, and there was clothing for all lifestyles too represented. And so in other words, they're licensing to everybody. If you love Harley Davidson, come on in. Well, they felt that they were being pressured, and so here's their response. They eliminated the DEI function. Why? Well, they wanted to reject quotas. They said, look, if we haven't hired enough people from one group or another, wait a minute. We need to hire enough skilled people for a given position, and we let everybody apply. We also rejected supplier diversity spending. Now, here's what was going on there. They said, you must be buying, let's say, some part for the motorcycles from businesses owned by these people, businesses owned by these people, businesses owned by these people. Harley Davidson said, wait a minute, we want all businesses to have an opportunity to bid to us, but if your parts aren't up to our quality, it's not going on a bike, because that'll lower the quality of our product. Yet there were people inside Harley Davidson as part of these diversity efforts that said, nope, don't care. We'll order batteries from companies owned by these people, this percent, these people, this percent, these people, this percent. It was impossible to maintain, and created tension and problems. And people inside Harley were saying, we're not getting full quality that we want. Then they pointed out, we've been a long-standing equal opportunity employer. And in their announcement, they pointed out the level field they wanted for anybody to come through the front door of Harley Davidson and put a resume and an application down. And they said, we care about the customer, the people that love our motorcycles, and the riders who enjoy them. Whoever you are, whoever you want to be, paint this bike, order this bike, whatever color you want, and fly your flag proudly. But you know what? We're not going to do artificial things inside the company. We've always had a nice open front door and a level playing field to apply. So guess what? Harley Davidson stepped back and everybody applauded, and they said, you know what? We were wrong. We were under pressure, and so we did all these things. We're going back to being what we believe was a very fair company with opportunity for all. And the net, they just want to serve and retain our loyal rider community. That's what the business is there to do, not to join one political party or another, or support one cause or another. Then let's go to Lowe's. Lowe's becomes the latest company to scrap DEI policies against woke backlash. This announcement was made by Lowe's CEO, Lowe's African-American CEO. They said, we will not participate in politicized surveys. People were trying to push surveys at Lowe's and other companies so that they would fill them out with regard to what they're doing on how many people of what background working where and what positions. Then those surveys would end up in news articles slamming Lowe's. So Lowe's is asking, what are we doing? We're an equal opportunity employer. We've got good things for all of our team members. And instead, we're participating in surveys so that they can end up in a headline and people are getting upset with us because we don't do this or that. Wait. Next, they said, we're going to discontinue sponsorship of community parades. Here's why. There are so many communities in America, we can't support all of them. And if we give 500 to this parade, but 1,000 to that parade, but this parade was in St. Louis, Missouri, and this was in Chicago, nobody looks at whether the parade was bigger or what the money went to. They're just upset that, oh, you spent more on the parade in Chicago for this cause or this community than this one. They said, okay, look, if the employees would like to do that, great, band together, support it. But Lowe's will not be supporting this parade or that parade of various communities. We're going to stay back and stay neutral. And by the way, we have an excellent equal opportunity record. As a matter of fact, look at our CEO, who's not a DEI hire, but he happens to be African American, and he was the best person for the job when it was time for us to hire a new CEO, and there he sits. He's evidence that we have a level playing field and everyone can come in. Next, Microsoft. Microsoft reportedly fires DEI team, becoming latest company to ditch woke policy. Well, you can see which direction this headline's going, a little bit more to the right. But what did they say? They said, we've quietly laid off the DEI team. And by the way, we like to refer you to our D&I policy as part of our equal opportunity policy. We've had diversity and inclusion. We want there to be a big opportunity for diversity and inclusion of all people who want to submit a resume to Microsoft and have equal opportunity to compete for a job. And they made a very strong statement about expectations and accountability and making sure that all resumes are reviewed, all candidates are reviewed, and it's done on merit. Microsoft, do you want bugs in the software? No, you want the best engineers working on the software, especially in a world of hackers and bad people around the world that want to do things. So Microsoft, of all people, in very liberal Seattle, in incredibly liberal Washington, came out with this and they said, nope, we're going to stay with our diversity and inclusion policy and our long-standing efforts with equal opportunity. And we want all executives to understand our expectations and accountability to ensure you're reviewing everybody when it comes time to look at those resumes and applicants for jobs. Isn't that interesting? The University of Florida. Now, University of Florida eliminated DEI positions, appointments, and spending. Now, they did this in reaction to the governor, Governor Ron DeSantis, coming down and saying, stop, we're not going to do this anymore. He said, there will not be funding, state funding. University of Florida funded with state dollars, tax dollars from, I'm a Florida resident now, you and me, they said, we're not going to have these programs there. We're going to eliminate the DEI positions. We're going to eliminate the DEI program rules, and the program rules were leading to issues and problems with University of Florida admissions and staffing, the same kinds of things that got Yale sued. Well, guess what? They reinforced their commitment to equal opportunity and, oh, by the way, redirected the $5 million to other student programs. Isn't that interesting? So they put the money to good use. Now, people say, nah, the Governor DeSantis, he kind of forced the University of Florida to do it. Well, okay, let's say he did through the stroke of his pen by saying DEI was doing the wrong things. Here's some of the things that were happening. So maybe the stroke of the pen of the governor was the right thing to do, and there's $5 million being spent elsewhere in the university, and with more equal consideration happening for the applicants coming in. There you have it. So, what does it mean for you and me? What's the lessons for us? You need to have a smart and fair HR policy. How do you make it smart and fair? Well, guess what? What's old is new again. Equal opportunity practices work. Having an open front door, a level playing field, and I'll tell you something that Google did. You may try this. Cut the name off all the resumes that come in so people can't see whether it's male or female, and they can't read any names to assume, maybe any ethnicity in those names. You mean if you got a resume that said Vivek Ramaswamy, it's probably from India. But let's take all that off. So do neutral consideration. And Google actually did that for some jobs. That ensures equal opportunity, that there's not even anything in your mind. What's on this resume? What did this individual do? My goodness, these 3 resumes here, these people appear to be doing exactly what we want. Let me look at those to hire it. So even if you want to take the bias out, there's ways to do it. But equal opportunity works. You want the best for your company, for the best products, the best customer service, the best result for your customers, not because you want to have some sort of social program that should be limited to Washington and the halls of Washington and the world of politics, so you can run your company fair and smart. Next, a level playing field. All can apply. That's what we're talking about. Let everybody apply. I don't care where you're from, what your faith is, or what your creed or anything else that you might identify by. Let's have a level playing field for all to apply. And hiring quality, merit, skills, and expectations. Do you have the training, the skills, and the experience to do the job that's necessary? If you do, boom, we're going to interview you. If you don't, we're going to set that resume aside. Finally, discrimination laws drive accountability. Those laws were cited in the lawsuit by those families of Yale. And so there are opportunities out there within the system to push back. But if you commit yourself to equal opportunity, commit yourself to the practices of evaluating everybody, and say it's going to be merit, skills, and experience, and we're going to make sure that no executives maybe lean one way or another because we just want the highest quality workforce. And that's how we're going to roll. And that is the Biz Doc case study on DEI. Hopefully you found that useful. I got some stuff out of it even as I was researching, finding out how companies are backing up, but not backing off. They may be backing up from DEI, but they're not backing off being equal opportunity employers, ensuring everyone has an opportunity to knock on the front door. If you liked it, leave a comment down below. If you didn't like it, leave a comment down below. Subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications of the upcoming case studies. And leave a question down below if you've got stats or a question about a company or something. We take all of those and it helps us plan future case studies and quick stats, which is the shorts from the Biz Doc diving into something on a real quick basis. You can see those. If you like this case study, here's 2 others from the Biz Doc archive you may like. And as I like to say, I'm Tom Ellsworth, the Biz Doc, and I hope I left you better than I found you.